That was a scene from Soylent Green, a fantasy film featuring chaos in the cities of America. A decision upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court may make this kind of scene a reality. Overcrowding of California prisons will open the gates, freeing up to 46,000 inmates, sending them to the streets. Beckel, any surprise here that liberal nirvana that is California wants to open the prison gates because it's getting just itty-bitty too crowded in the showers of Cell Block D?
You were wrong about that. That was when everybody found out Michelle Bachmann was going to be president of the United States. Let me put it this way. I have a great deal of sympathy. About 60% of the prisoners in the California jail system are there because of drugs. Some of them because, remember, they had 3 strikes you're out rule in California, right? And you went to jail.
Wasn't it?
And no. 3 strikes you're out was a California decision. But the point is that you can let these people out who've been arrested on drug issues. I mean, there's no reason. Prison is not helping these guys.
I hope they go.
They ought to be out. If they're up there on a marijuana charge,
let them out.
Yeah.
Let them out.
Let them out. Let them go to Bob's house for a burglary.
Hey, what? You guys never smoked dope?
No. This is liberalism.
You never smoked dope? No wonder you're such an old-timer.
Please, stick to the topic
here. Here we go. I mean, you know, it's just drugs. I mean, it's just like, I hope they all move into Bob's neighborhood, and Bob can say, I got a drug addict, I got a crackhead.
I go through my back. I myself was a drug addict, and I have one living next door.
So we don't want 46,000 prisoners being released.
Well,
how can you justify that? I mean, this is exactly the if it feels good, do it mindset of a state that, of course, has these medicinal marijuana plants now on every street corner in America. It's awful.
You know, I'm a retired
what are the cops going to say?
I put a lot of these people away in jail. They're still doing time now. My point is what's that word? Recidivism. The recidivism. Say it again.
Recidivism.
That. They come back out. It's a known fact. They come back out. They commit crimes again. This is the problem. When Sotomayor, whatever her name, when she went on to the Supreme Court, I knew the balance was going to go. This is a balance with a liberal balance with your friend Kennedy and Ginsburg, and this is what happens, how it gets thrown out of kilter. My problem here is a lot of these criminals are going to go back out and they're going to commit crimes. Yeah. And what about the people? You know what? They're worried about the prisons. Hold on, Bob. They're worried about the prisons. Why don't you go with me down to Peru or to Turkey? I'll show you a prison. These prisons aren't bad. You're doing time.
How do you justify $70,000 per criminal for a kid who smoked dope 3 or 4 times?
It's not just kids who smoke dope. It's not just someone who stole a candy bar.
They're going to let out serial killers? Is that what you're saying?
Well, 46,000.
46,000.
You think they're going to let those people out? You guys are nuttier than I thought you were. I mean, you started off being nuts. You guys have gone completely off your mind.
Why even have a law then? Why don't you just go ahead and legalize
have jail?
I mean,
they should legalize marijuana.
Just legalize everything.
No, legalize marijuana would be fine.
How about heroin? How about cocaine?
Heroin.
No, I think you do that. You do make that in clinics that are run by the government and get people to come there, because otherwise they're going to get it anyway, and they're going to kill people to get it.
Oh, we have government.
I have a little bit of experience.
Yeah, but what happens if what happens with the people that are doing what they're supposed to do, not committing crimes, paying their taxes? Don't they have any rights? They need one of these animals climbing through their back window, burglarizing their house when they're not home, becoming victims. You're going to let them out.
You're making the assumption that there's animals that are going to be let out here.
And this is the
they're animals.
This is the rationalization that the left comes up with. Oh, it's just kids smoking pot. 3 strikes, you're out. No. These are a lot of cases. You know, they're going to be dangerous, hardened drug criminals.
Do you think they're going to let them out? Seriously?
Yeah, but Bob,
let me get. Hold on, guys. Let me get this straight. In California, that's what they should do. Legalize everything, and then open the doors and say, hey, anyone who's convicted on a drug violation, go ahead.
Anybody who was convicted on personally using marijuana and taken to the state prison ought to be let out.
Well, there's not going to be 46,000.
Anybody, if that matter, I'd rather let them out and let all you guys who drink be put in jail. I mean,
yeah, but if we're going to talk about the drug dealers, which are going to be involved here, it has to be.
I wouldn't let a drug dealer out in the sense you define a drug dealer.
Where are you going to get the 46,000?
And Bob, you've got faith in a system that we've already seen is paroling and letting out people out on probation who've gone out and they kill again.
That word.
You've got faith in this.
Kill again? Wait a minute, Mike.
I'm talking about a system.
Do you understand what I said?
You're justifying
I said just people who are picked up for personal use of
Bob,
drugs.
hold on. What if there are not just 46,000 that would bring the number down, that makes Californians feel a little more comfortable about how it feels in jail? Maybe what if 400,000 people are in jail for that. So we should let 400,000 criminals out in the streets?
For smoking dope?
Whatever. Drug violations.
That's been their only violation.
By the way, why is it only dope? What do you got against heroin if you're okay with dope?
I don't have anything against heroin. I've used a lot of drugs in my life, and I have a lot of problems with drugs, and I work with drug addicts every day. And that's where you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Now you work with drug addicts
every day.
I got to disagree with this whole thing here. First of all, you're wrong, Bob. You're wrong about the fact that the people that were smoking pot that are in there. I'll guarantee you, sure, the 5,000 you want to bet on the bomb, I'll bet you 5,000 that 5% are not from smoking pot in those jails. These people are doing hard time in these jails. The pot ones are 30 days. I'm telling you, these ain't pot smokers.
You keep saying that. You trust a system not to let them out?
All right, I have to leave it there.
Do you trust by the way, before you make fun of that,
Gallagher nailed it. Do you trust the system not to let the hardened criminals out?
Do you trust this system to ask a straight question?
Becca, we're going to have to let him go. Coming up, some things you may not know about the energy crisis facing our nation. Right back with some surprises when Follow the Money returns.